All right, we are recording. Welcome everybody to the Division G webinar. This is the last one that we have for this calendar year. I'd like to introduce our next speaker who contributes much of his success in his business and professional life to Toastmasters. Dr. Joseph Skoda retired from the Air Force after 21 years and calls Pismo Beach his home today. He's the commander of both the American Legion and Disabled American Veterans of Santa Maria. He runs social media shows network as well as a nonprofit called GI Connections. He's only been a Toastmaster for just over 6 years. He currently is a member of 4 clubs, holds 2 DTMs, and has reached President's Distinguished Honor for 2 different clubs. He is our Program Quality Director for District 33 and is going to share the importance of the Club Success Plan and how it relates to the big picture. Please help me welcome Dr. Joseph Skoda.
Hey, thank you, everyone. I deeply appreciate it. You know, Toastmasters has changed my life in so many ways, and I talk about it all the time on social media, through emails, through my persona when I'm asked to speak. We have a quick slideshow, and I just want to share a little bit about what I learned in the last 6 years about having a distinguished club to begin with, because a lot of us struggle in different ways, and let's try to get together and come up with some ideas. But let's talk a little about the Club Success Plan. I want to share my screen right now because I have a little slideshow put together. So bear with me, and don't be afraid to use the chat box, because we love the chat box. And feel free to ask questions. Okay, here, where's my slideshow? All right, can you see that beautiful picture? Looks good?
Looks
okay. Well, that's a good sign. Let's see here. All right, we're going to talk about the importance of the Club Success Plan and, quite frankly, how it relates to the big picture, the bigger picture. This is the webinar training session, 1 December 2019. And I am the Program Quality Director. That's a title I hold very, very proudly. All right, does anyone know what the Toastmasters mission is? Greg knows, but that's okay. Here it is. Toastmasters, and this is important. This is an important part of our Club Success Plan. Understand what our missions and goals are. The international mission is we empower individuals to become more effective communicators as well as leaders. Right? Now, what about the district mission? We hear about this a lot. We build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. All right, now the other one we also hold dear to our heart, right? The club mission. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members, all members, are empowered to develop both communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Okay, that's it. That about sums it up. If you get that, you got the whole, you got the big picture of the Club Success Plan, right? You stick to the TM mission and it all comes together. Well, we'll go into a little bit more details about the Club Success Plan as a whole. Right, the Club Success Plan, as we read, includes all the elements to achieve your club's goals. The what, the how, the who, when, and don't forget the why. The why is probably even more important than the other things. But when we determine in advance what should be done, when and how it will be accomplished, who's responsible, success becomes easier once we identify all those things ahead of time. And to that, the Club Executive Committee includes all your officers plus your immediate past president. And when you get that committee together and you work on your strategies, when we put those goals together, Club Success Plan together, they need to have these 3 things. It's really this simple. You set those specific goals, right? You know, the SMART goals. The specific goals, the measurable goals, the attainable goals, right? And don't forget about the relevancy, and the timeliness of our goals. Once we put all those into place and put it on paper, it's so much easier to understand. And when we get that, then we start establishing strategies to achieve those goals. Okay, I want to be number one in the area. What do we do to get there? What do we do to get there? We have to have a plan. So you develop that framework to help carry out the plan to produce the results that you're looking for. The whole idea is to keep this simple. We don't have to go so far in the outfield trying to figure out what we're doing and where we could improve. Now, our Distinguished Club program serves as the starting part for the District Recognition Program, which encompasses the Distinguished Area, Division, District programs. All those things are encompassed under the Distinguished Club program. So the goals of these programs is focused on creating distinguished clubs. We're not creating mediocre clubs. We're not creating clubs that are barely getting by. Our goal is to help everyone be the best that they can be. So our goal is to create distinguished clubs. Obviously, distinguished, select, or presidents, that whole realm of different areas. And that means that the club success is critical to the success of all the areas, divisions, and districts. So for every echelon above the club to achieve their goals, it goes down to the low level. What are we doing in our clubs to help them become bigger and better where they are? And when we keep it down to the bottom level, it's so much easier when we focus on people like that. Because being distinguished, quite frankly, is like a 5-star hotel. you get that swagger when you have that ribbon that says you're distinguished and you had something to do with it. And that's so important to give us a sense of belonging, a sense of accomplishment in our clubs. So when we show the importance and we're excited about what's going on, everyone wins. Everyone wins. Like I was talking about, the bottom line, the club is the big picture. When the club reaches all their goals, and we're going to talk about the goals here in a little bit, when they reach the goals that they set themselves out for, and every club does that, sure, we're going to have distinguished areas, divisions, and districts. That goes without saying. But we have to worry about the member, the one member in that club, and how we can help them have a great experience. The rest comes together. The rest comes together. Let's talk a little bit more about some other stuff. Okay, now some of the goals, and we know these goals. The 10 goals have been grouped into 4 areas. Just keep it simple, 4 areas: education, membership, training, and administration. So how are you going to reach your goals? Education, everyone has an opportunity and is expected to learn the educational program to help them become better communicators and leaders. Membership, obviously we get new members in there. The experience is enhanced because we have a lot more people doing different things. I'm sure some of you are experienced where we're wearing 2 or 3 hats at a meeting. And sometimes they're fun, but it's more fun when you share the wealth and get everyone involved. That's always really exciting when we do those kind of things. So we come with a strategy. Now, what about training? Really simple. When you train the officers, the training doesn't change much from year to year. That's irrelevant. The point is we need to keep up on our game for our officers and know our stuff, know our criteria, know our material, know our job, so we can share with others to be the best that we can be when we're doing that. And obviously, nothing means anything until the paperwork's done, right? I think we can all agree with that. So there has to be a strategy out there that your clubs need to put together to ensure that we're all accomplishing what we need to accomplish. So that's pretty good right there. It's real simple. You keep to the 10 goals in the 4 different areas and understand it starts with the club and the members. Right, here it is. Really simple, the goals to achieve. You have all seen this before. And this is item 1111 in the Toastmasters.org website that goes over to the Distinguished Club Program and the Club Success Plan. And definitely go in there to learn more about what's going on. But here it is. You see, if you get 5 goals achieved, become distinguished. 7 goals, select distinguished, and 9 goals is president's distinguished. Here it is. Going to break it up really simple. The 4 things, right? Education, we just talked about. If you get 6 goals in education, 6 educational goals, hey, those are 6 points. 4 new members and 4 more members, that's membership. It's another 2 points. And what about getting your officers trained? And we just talked about making sure they know their roles and their positions very well. That's another point. Just ensuring the officers get where they have to get to. And send your renewal report in on time. Now it's really, if we stick it that simple, get the educationals, bring in the members, ensure everyone gets trained, and just pay your dues on time, everyone wins. Everyone wins. We don't have to make this difficult. And if we stick that in our mind, that's part of our club success plan. Like I say, we can't go wrong. And because you have your 7 officers and your immediate past president part of that committee and constantly strategizing, it wins. Now, I know we're looking at this, say we're working pathways. Okay, here it is. Most of us are in pathways right now. I get it. So we get our CC awards or we get our level 1s and level 2s. Now, a lot of us, I'm learning this myself. You know, I've already started my 2nd path and really excited about that. It took me over a month to get that 2nd level 1 approved because we had a new VPE come on board last couple months, like most of you have also, and didn't quite understand you had to go into Club Central, even though going to Toastmasters International, do everything, get your diploma, says, yay, I was awarded this. You have to be able to go into Club Central, or your VPE does, to approve it there to actually get the real credit. That makes very little sense, but that's the way it is. And quite frankly, Pathways has gotten a lot easier now than it was a year ago when we first started this program. But it's a long transition. Every time people give recommendations for improvements, and Clarice can vouch this for me. We just learned this in Denver a few months ago. It's roughly 24 months to make the changes effective. Because there's a lot of things going on. When you change one thing, you have to do a lot of changes in the background to make it streamlined. And right now, you can look at every pathway out there and see all the criteria to find out which is better for you. So it's getting better. It's getting better. The point is, you and I, most of us joined Toastmasters to develop communication, possibly leadership. Most of us, that wasn't the intention, but it comes anyways. And the self-confidence that comes with doing all those things together. Does it really matter what educational program we're in? It shouldn't. It really should, because we're here to learn something bigger and better than that. So think about, what is the hardest one for you to achieve? Is it hard, for your club to achieve? Is it harder membership? Is it harder for the educational goals? I think it's mostly members. Because if we have enough people actively doing things, all the roles get filled and people are doing speeches and working on their levels. I want to throw this in there really quickly. I downloaded this off of Toastmasters International website yesterday. Talk about the different divisions, how many clubs are in them, and how many people. This has to do with renewals. You see, 4 divisions had late renewals. They came in, but they were late. So we couldn't count them effectively. But it's real important to look at that and keep things up. But you can see, even, for instance, we have one that has a low club count, but they've got a high number of members. So we got to keep these things in mind, looking at what we're doing in our clubs. And me being a program quality director this year, it's my responsibility to answer everyone's area director reports, which is the reports to do in each and every club. Do you know I had 20 reports coming yesterday? 20 reports. And the deadline wasn't November 30th. The deadline was October 30th or October 31st. So that causes a lot of extra stress on us trying to get things done on time. But if we keep focused on what we have to do and reach those deadlines, It makes it easier for everyone. I answered 8 reports yesterday. I probably got another 15 or maybe 20 to go through yet. The deadline was a month ago. Let's work together to ensure we're getting things done when we have to. So here's what I want to talk mostly about. Membership. Why do people join the clubs and why do people stay? And we can get people excited when table topics is fun, or there's a great speaker up there, or quite frankly, good protocol and everyone's clapping. Say, yeah, we'd love to have you. And we keep people there. But if we're not keeping them engaged, if we're not sticking to a common protocol, if we're not giving awards to all the members on a regular basis when they're doing things, we're doing our members an injustice. And if we're doing our members an injustice, they are going to float away. They are going to float away. My job is to make the experience of every Toastmaster member, not just the new ones, but everyone, want to be there. You got to have humor. You have to have fun. And sure, we're going to stick to the protocol and the rules and the Robert's Rules of Order. Really important, but we can still enjoy the process and have fun along the way. You know, because for a quality club, combined with a great vision, that's part of the strategy. And we talk a lot about the CAP program, the Club Ambassador program, which Tim Mullins, the past international or the past district director, talked about, is encouraging us to go visit other clubs, write a little 2 or 3 answer 2 or 3 questions, and come back with it and strategize in your own club and amongst other clubs, because we're all learning and growing. And if you're not going to other clubs, you most likely will eventually go away or lose the bigger vision and the bigger picture, because you don't know what other clubs and members are doing. And that's so important. So it's just one step at a time. You know, don't stare at the stairs. We're just stepping one step at a time and trying to clarify things. Now, if you're sticking with our d33tm.org website, a lot of incentives were given, because we're always talking about, well, no one wants to join. Well, you and me should want to bring members in because there's incentives, usually in TI bucks, but those TI bucks buys those awards, those ribbons, those certificates, if you need another gavel and some other things. So those are important. So the district's given incentives. We're given webinars, talk about how important you have a quality club meeting. And we need to do that. We need to do that. There's so many ways to do that. You know, Meetup works really good in a lot of areas. And I talk a lot about the wow factor in my club reports, because I think everyone should be giving us their wow, their why, what they learned, their moment, what Toastmasters brought to them, and share it on social media. And I've done that several times. And when you, what do you say, when you, you know, tag someone or you share from your own page, you're going to increase awareness of what you're doing and interest. And what we're sharing on social media, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Meetup, or whether it's LinkedIn works too very well, and Facebook, we have to continuously do that. And if you're the VP, PR, public relations, you should be taking pictures of each and every meeting and posting them. Keep your website, keep your Toast Host, free Toast Host, updated as you can. Keep your Facebook page updated. These are important. And if you add things like a formal induction of new members and of officers of your club, that just helps you go one step higher. So to bring members in, you bring them in, you have to keep their interest. You have to give them a mentor, and you have to lead the way. Because if we're giving speeches all the time and there's no credit, forget the manual in the system on their pathways, nobody's winning. No one's putting together everything they need to, and they're not being all they can be, and they're going to lose interest. But on a side note, I want every one of you I encourage each and every one of you to have a hip pocket speech available if needed. A hip pocket speech is not a table topics impromptu, you don't know what you're going to say. A hip pocket speech is something you've given 2 or 3 times. You fine tune it, you've memorized it, you've adapted it to different audiences. So for some reason, you're going to your club meeting and someone couldn't make it as a speaker, you have something available. You have something available and everyone can go out there and do that. That builds up your own confidence and it's exciting. And don't do your agendas on the spot in the meeting. That shows lack of professionalism. It shows laissez-faire. It shows you're not taking this organization seriously enough. And we need to. So I just wanted to spend a lot of time on that club quality and how we can bring in more members. It's not that difficult, but when we bring in more members, our club's new blood and everybody's winning. Even people have been around a few years, like as long as me, 6 years, give us a reason to mentor someone, to coach someone, to help them along their path. So that's a big part of it. So in a nutshell, we see it right here, qualifying requirements. A lot of people want to know, okay, we don't have 20 members, so what do we do? Well, according to this, the net growth of at least 5 new members by the end of June. So if you had 10 members and you have 15 by the end of June and you fulfilled the educational training requirements, administrative requirements, then you can still reach the recognitions of distinguished, select, or presidents. There's always a way if you're building up your club, showing that enthusiasm and working on that membership. It all comes together. Keep it simple. So some of the resources, obviously our District 33 website and Toastmasters.org, all this information's out there. Join that CEP program and go visit a club you've never visited before. Write a quick report, upload on our D33TM page. All the information's there that you're looking for. You want to know about our incentives? It's there. You want to know about upcoming webinars? It's there. Our international president, Deepak Menon, is supposed to be visiting us January 19th. And the plan is to have a TLI for the district, a district-wide TLI at that time, and will most likely be in Santa Barbara or maybe Ventura. We're still trying to work out those details. We're going to do the best we can. So go to those trainings, even if you're not an officer. Show the support just by being there, because everybody wins. We have a great organization, and we need to share with as many people as we can. It's so important what we do. So definitely stick to those basic resources and share with other people what we're doing. Right. Now, I don't know if any of you experienced this a couple years ago when our district hit President's Distinguished in Vancouver, but I'm sure you see a lot of familiar faces up there. You know, and we're trying, our goal this year is Smedley's Distinguished, and so we can do it. And we're not going to get there unless we make our clubs fun, inviting, welcoming, where people want to join us. And people are not going to know about your club if you're not actively marketing through social media, through invites, through open houses, articles in the paper. In fact, we're looking for people to write little articles for our website also. Feel free to send them. But we can all be up on stage there in Paris next year. Paris. So come join me in Paris next year, and Clarice and so many of us others, and strut our stuff and brag about our stuff. You know, the last resource is someone who has done it before, because we have a lot of experience in District 33 that have been there, done that, and will be glad to help mentor, to coach, to train. Just have to ask. We just have to ask. Right, so as we were talking about, right, the Toastmasters mission. We know the international mission, empowering individuals to become more effective communicators and leaders. The district mission, build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. And what's the club one? Right, provide support and positive learning experience positive learning experience in which all members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in self-confidence, greater self-confidence and personal growth. And one thing I want to mention, we all have that little squabbling, disagreements, a lot of business stuff we have to talk about. Don't do that in your regular meeting, especially if you have a guest. Take that to the side. Hopefully you're having regular board meetings where you can discuss issues. Don't bring it up in a regular meeting. That's so unprofessional. It's more important to have a friendly, welcoming environment at those times. Right, really simple as we mentioned. There it is. The club is the basic level. And when everyone's happy in the club, everyone else is going to win. Don't worry about the division district area. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about you having the best experience you can as a Toastmaster in your club and making sure everyone wants to be there. It's okay to join more than one club. It's okay to join more than one club, right, Dennis? So keep recognizing people. Keep it fun. There's so many ways to recognize people. With the Star Award, we have the Smedley Award. We have people, 100% officers training in their clubs. So many different ribbons that people put on their banner, and we're more than happy to share them with you. Keep your meetings fun. Do something different. Have theme meetings, and you're going to have a better success in the upcoming year toward your club success and your future journey in Toastmasters. And that's it. I'm free to answer any questions, but I'm just saying have some fun because life is good. All right. What kind of questions do we have, everyone? Of course, I'll put my glasses on.
Joseph,
Right.
I have
Yes.
a question.
Hi, Jeannie.
Hi. I am expecting that some of our members will finish their Pathways DTM before the end of this year.
Woohoo!
Yay.
Yes. Yes.
I don't see a DC point for a Pathways DTM. Is there one?
A DTM is an educational level. A DTM is an educational level, same as your level 3, 4, 5 to get there. So DTM by itself, no, I don't have it in front of me, but I'm sure it is.
Okay, there is a section for Pathways and it doesn't have a column for DTM.
Oh, really? Okay.
Really, there is one on the traditional side. So that would be something to investigate.
That's a very, very, very good question. And I see you. You're right. Complete level 4, 5, 6. It doesn't say DTM. Good question, and I will research that and get back with you. That's a good question.
Okay, thank
Never
you.
thought of that. No, thank you. And that's how we learn. We share with each other what we know and don't know, and try to get a better answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, we're talking about DPOC. DPOC, it's something new that International is finally doing. They're sending the leadership around the world to visit different, not clubs per se, but the districts and seeing how they can help out. And a big focus for DPOC this year, obviously he's going to attend our TLI and speak and do some training, but with the help of Clarice and the rest of the trio, we're trying to have corporations that will let us in and share what Toastmasters is all about to try to get some corporate clubs started. So that's one of our big focuses. And, District 33, it's not new in my mind, but it has restructured to become smaller. So our budget's smaller. We have less clubs, less opportunity to move all around. So let's build new clubs and more corporate clubs. And he's going to help us do that this time. So I want you all to join us, and we'll let you know the details of that as we come on. What else we got?
Hi, Joseph. This is Monica.
Hi, Monica.
I answered my question, but I'll ask again. So the January 19th visit, is that additional training?
That is our second TLI. We have 2 TLIs a year.
Okay.
Training Leadership Institute. Usually the division handles it. The division training, you come in, all the area directors there, and you teach president, VP, VPM, sergeant arms, all of those things. This year, we're trying something new. We're trying to do a district-wide training, something we've never done before. And we don't know how it's going to work out. Quite frankly, we can have anywhere from 100 people to 400 people. We just don't know. So it's something new we're trying. And and we're going to learn, but that counts as training. And I'm sure there'll still be makeups in your divisions later on. And we have regular meetings with all the division directors and area directors. We let them know what we're doing. But this is the first time we're going to do a district-wide training. Therefore, at least we're all getting the same training, if nothing else.
Why did Grace send out the date already for our training, January 27th?
Right.
Okay.
Right, that's the week after, and
Okay.
Correct. And Grace is helping us lead the way for the TLI on the 19th also.
TLI on the 19th. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
And how will you keep us posted about that? We'll get an email?
Everything is on our Facebook page. Everything is on our website, and we're sending emails out. I hear a lot of people aren't getting those emails, and let me know.
Okay.
We are sending the information out there.
Thank you.
And we usually, we send to the division directors, and it's supposed to flow down to make sure you get all the information. But something like this, in addition to that, we're going to send to everyone individually also.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, like Greg says, a DTM is a DTM, whether it's legacy, pathways, whatever it's going to be. And it should encourage people who've got their DTMs years ago to want to accept another challenge. Get out there and do something different and kind of lead the way. The younger people, they want to see us leading the way, not just sitting back giving speeches and doing table topics. Make sure we get credit for all that. So yeah, just to recap, a DTM's a DTM will be a DTM, but why not have 2 or 3 of them? All right, Dale, you're welcome. What else we got? Okay, well, I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and definitely keep the support coming along, and let us know how we can best help you, and get your reports done quickly, and let us know, the district, and obviously Division F, what kind of trainings that you want, and we'll do the best to get them out there for you. I want to thank Dennis Ham and Division F for doing these trainings. Yes.
Oh, I have one question.
Yes, sir.
As an area director, I have seen that immediate past presidents are often not plugged in. And I'm wondering if there needs to be more of an emphasis, because I have not seen at officer trainings where the immediate past presidents are specifically told what they are to do. And I think that there's a lack of knowledge about immediate past presidents and their goal and their job.
But, that's a good question. Before I became part of the trio, I thought we just made up our own stuff. I really did. And it wasn't until I got direction in our regional trainings, which in January, we'll just be coming back from Denver from our regional training before our TLI. That's where I got a bigger picture of what's required of us. So we're still learning. We're sending information out there. But it's very frustrating when I go to a club and ask a member, hey, are you coming to our awards banquet that we had 2 weeks ago, and they didn't know about it. And little things like that in our communication is very frustrating, because that was a great ceremony. We gave out certain awards. We toasted Tim Mullins as our past district director. That was fun. And we're going to do more of those things in the future. So when you get an email from us, ask the others and share it and make sure we all have the same information.
And they miss seeing your big gavel too.
It's in the trunk of my car. It's in the trunk of my car. I love that thing. And I talked about it. They roasted me when I was division director a few years ago. and it rose to me with that gavel. It was a lot of fun. So, but I'll email the slides or give them to Dennis, and he can share with anyone interested in them. And they're just basic. I obviously modify them for this particular training, but we have slides for almost every trainings out there, especially the officer positions. And if you spend some time, on a successful club series and talk about different things or moments of truth, if you give a moments of truth a couple times a year in your club, that's the nitty gritty about where there's good stuff going on and bad stuff going on, where improvements could be made. So that's, it works out really well.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Joseph. Yeah, there's still lots of material out there to fill in blanks when you don't have a speaker, the Successful Club Series, and then there's another one, I think, on leadership. And that's what I usually do when I find out I'm missing a speaker. I'll dig those out and modify those PowerPoint slides. Another thing I want to bring up before we close is that there are a lot of resources out there, especially on Facebook now. You'll see that there are a lot of different groups focusing on different things about Toastmasters. And one of them I want to bring it to your attention is there's a webinar that's on Tuesdays. It's now in its, I think, 23rd, this week will be the 23rd week. It's called Tuesday Talks and Tips. And it's put on by someone from District 7, Michelle Abalim, and she's been focusing on pathways items. And this coming week, it's going to be about speechcraft. And right now, the speechcraft is only in the hard copy, the old-fashioned way, but they're supposed to be transitioning over to a pathways version, and we'll be talking about that this Tuesday. So if anybody wants to get on Tuesday's Talks and Tips, it's at 7 o'clock local time, and the Zoom ID, if you want to copy it, and also put it in later, it's 615-711-531. 615-711-531 on Zoom, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. I'll just put a plug in for that. But there's lots of resources, and if you're having trouble with anything, you can find some answers right on Facebook. So that pretty much, any other questions or comments before I stop the recording and close this off? Well, thank you very much, Joseph. This is the last webinar for Division G for this calendar year. I'm not sure what we have coming up for 2020, but we'll be putting that out as soon as we find more information. We'll go ahead and stop the recording. And
All right. Thank you, everyone.